is there anyone who's in the middle of the installation, or who's stuck at something and is about to finish? So Mohammed Masudi, your registration on Citrix website is you're not able to do that. So there's a message in the chat saying, okay. So guys, for registration on the website, we did go to see if I just try to drag this, and I think on the forum, I think Munawwar Islam, he actually discovered or and also told the way that what to do. If I go to my Citrix .com, so we were trying to create an account. If I go to create account, create customer account. So now recording has started, and we are trying to, on day 2, we are trying to know what are the problems. So what are the problems? For the record of the video, I'm just going to repeat that. If you're trying to create an account here for mycitrix.com, go to mycitrix.com. It's going to take you to this area where account creation can be seen. Then when you're creating an account, try to do this company. In the company window, you could just put dev Syed Shahzad, right? So, and you were able to do that. I think you were having some problem, and then was having a problem with, and you actually lost 3 emails, or 3 emails were considered blocked from by Citrix because of numerous attempts. So if Anne is listening to this, so you could also let others know that what was the problem for your emails. Uh, is there still? Oh, okay. So it was okay, and so Anne is saying it was okay in the chat window. That's one of the problems that we faced. Anyone else who faced this problem also in the Citrix group, Citrix Google group, there were solutions suggested from Rawar Islam. So we are all seem to be okay with at least this problem. Was there any other problem trying to connect? So everyone's environment who has done it, you should be, so I'm dragging this, VMware workstation. So my first, so the DC was our license server. If I go to and drag my drawing here, and so in our case, we were trying to create this environment here. So the first is Citrix DC, which we made as license server, and it's already with DC DNS DHCP available, and the IP addressing is this. Then the second was our Citrix XenApp and Citrix Web Interface. We have configured XenApp. We have installed XenApp for now, and it did take a lot of time. Then we have Citrix MEM2 member server, which is just XenApp. The first one is Citrix XenApp and web interface, which we still need to work on. And second is just XenApp server. So whenever we install an application to be published for this user, so we have to install the application here as well as here. So the application could be load balanced, and the user could connect to any of the servers to open this application. But later we're going to be doing that. Right now we are just trying to get to know our environment. Excuse me. Okay. That main thing I was trying to emphasize is that if you are still stuck at certain point, I could show you that point. If you have in your environment some error coming, so I did ask everyone to have TeamViewer ready, so we could just connect from TeamViewer to your environment. I would drag your environment to this screen so we could record it as well. We could try to troubleshoot that uh, error, and then we could make it work for you. So you could join us and for the second, third, fourth, fifth lab. because it's going to get overwhelming with lots of steps and lots of things to do, right? Excuse me. So there are many other things that we needed to do, and there is that repetition of at least the concepts, and I wanted to ask if there were any questions regarding this. So, but still, of course, we have just started that. So there will be each and where we're doing the lab for each and every concept that we're talking about. So we have just created our basic environment, Citrix products we talked about in the last class, and then we went for some detail of all the products. Citrix, there's a XenApp, then there's a Zen Desktop. Zen Desktop and XenApp are mixed in Citrix 7 and 7.6 versions, but we are doing 6.5. So Zen Desktop at that time was a different product, a separate product, and Zen App was separate, but they are mixed in as a one file to, one ISO file to deploy Zen app and desktop both, but we can configure it, separately. Like we can just configure only the Zen app part of that and not configure Zen desktop if we don't want it. But we're gonna, by the end of the course, we're gonna try to get our environment to Windows 2012 and to do the Zen desktop as well for just to check how it works. But then the desktop basically is a separate course. Excuse me. So then there we talked about Zen server. This is exactly like the ESXi server in VMware and or Hyper-V in Microsoft. And it is also free. Zen server, well, it has many of the features exactly the same. The concepts are same, just the interface and the terminologies are different. But the concept is still the same. It has also, just like vMotion, all the high availabilities and external storage, everything is, the concepts are same. And it is free, so we will be using that as well. We're going to be installing that as well as we get to know. Then there was NetScaler that makes web applications run 5 times better. We're going to be deploying lots of applications. Uh, I will try to include this as we go ahead, and because it's also a separate course, but and it's quite complicated, but at least we would want to do some small scale deployment and understanding of this. Then we talked about also the job environment. So if you go to Indeed.com and just type Citrix XenApp or Monster.com or Monster.ca, you would see a lot of jobs for Citrix XenApp and the Citrix Zen Desktop as well. I also wanted to drag some of the Citrix certifications that we did not talk about. Excuse me. Okay, so if I drag this here on Citrix Education, and let me just send that link to the group. Citrix and certifications, and the link I'm sending. Okay, so I've just sent the link to the group. You must have received it by now. Excuse me. uh, okay, so there are new certifications, certifications related to virtualization. Let me just put that setting of email notifications to off. So you should not see that in the popping in the video. Okay, so there are virtualization certifications. So there are 4 areas of Citrix certifications. One is virtualization, one is networking material. But this, I'll be sending you more material for, in form of ebook, so you could reference. And I already sent in the first the link I already mentioned the link. I think I did not send the slide. I guess maybe I did send. No, so I will just send the slide as well to you guys. Okay, let's go back. This is our environment right now, and we had set up this license server. And if I just show you in the video, license server as well as the XenApp server and XenApp server plus web interface and only the XenApp server. If I go back to this environment, so I'm just going to the DC first, our DC, which is our license server as well. If I go to all programs and go to Citrix, there is our license administration console. Just going through the overview, and it is opening. There it is. And so it is showing the licenses that we have, but if we go for the administration, this is just the dashboard. Citrix Startup, Citrix XenApp Advanced, Concurrent Enterprise, and Platinum. But what does it say here? Evaluation version for Platinum, Enterprise Evaluation, Advanced Evaluation. So definitely, of course, this is the evaluation that we are, and it is for 99. Oh, it's 99 current users, but it is till February 2016. So expiration, and if we go to administration console and we put that password, admin, I think the browser remembered our password. Yep, there it is. So, and then you remember that through vendor daemon we went for import license and we imported that license. And so this is main area for our licensing that we want to when purchase the license. This is the area we're going to come back again. Okay, so I'm just looking at the chat as well. Oh, okay. There is one more email. Okay, so farmers, you have also done the lab. You've sent the screenshot, right? Okay, good. So there are majority of us have done the lab, and a few of us are left with completion of the lab. So let's go with the first server now, which is our Citrix XenApp server. And if I close this and want to try to open that again, this is the completion of the installation window. So if I go back to the XenApp server, we have all, if we want to open that, there is that Citrix folder here where it's just this receiver link, which we will come back later. But where is the exact Citrix folder installation areas and the XenApp center, which we want to open? We will go for administrative tools here and go to Citrix and then to management consoles, and there you go with Citrix App Center. So if we go for Citrix App Center, is everyone Citrix App Center opening fine, or anyone is having problem opening it? If you're opening it now with me, you should see that it should open fine. If there are any problems with this opening of Citrix Zen App Center, or if this is the next App Center, which is our main dashboard right now. If we go to my form, which I created here, and expand that form, this is where we saw both these two servers. And guys, everyone's supposed to send this screenshot. So the IP addresses mentioned here are these. I think 169 should not be there. Let me check that configuration setting for the second network card. If it is, if I'm not using it, I should disable it. We have two NICs right now. Okay, there is a message with, one of the students. It's problem can't see my form options. So that's what I was asking. Do you have your team viewer ready, Akash? So you could just put that, so we could share this problem with everyone. I'll just drag that screen here and we could try to troubleshoot that if we can within time. So you could give me that team viewer, so we could connect to that. If your form does not open, is there any troubleshooting options there that we could go ahead and do perform? So can you, Akash, give me your so let me go back while Akash is doing that. So let's try to check our environment. If we go for our servers, if I refresh this, does it remove this app? So in time, it will try to remove this 169.254 address. But right now, our addresses are 2 and 3. So this is the environment we will be working on. Okay, there's a message in chat. Even personal installation, if you use it a lot, then it shows that notification. Okay. Guys, is there any way I could connect with this message even? If you have any questions, a connection could not be established. Nope, it's not going to let me. So yeah, if we use it a lot, then it will show. But right now, Akash, if you're doing that, just uninstall and reinstall, and we can connect to your screen, and we can try to find out how to resolve that issue. Okay, cool. So this is the search environment, the search which we can use for searching our all Citrix form in a big environment or in huge environments. When you go to servers, there's a very long list of servers here that you try to look for your server, particular server that you want to troubleshoot. So the search option is on the top that would let us go and check which areas. So sessions by user, if there are users connected at any particular Citrix server, which we are going to be trying a lot of those, in the step-by-step labs, or applications by user, whichever applications are being used right now by user, you could search on the basis of that. And servers without hotfix, that's even, that's also cool. Servers without hotfix, does it, so if we just select that and instead of putting the name, and we can also just choose the area, which areas. So in our case, of course, it's XenApp servers that we would want to go for in the Citrix resources that we want to search. If we just select search, there are two servers that are without hotfixes. So okay, yes, we haven't installed hotfixes, and the search tool has shown that because I chose which ones are without hotfix. There are many Citrix related updates that we have yet to install if we have internet connection. So if I go for Citrix XenApp servers, um, 6.5 hotfix, we can recommended hotfix was XenApp 6X. So all the hotfix rollup or the source packs that we want. So I'm just going to be sending you some of those hotfixes or the latest updates for those tonight or during before the next class. So we could also deploy those hotfixes before we start the actual implementation of all the features of the labs. But there are hot fixes that are required to be installed, and it's good that we should not see any bugs while we are trying to do some longer labs. Okay. Okay. So through the search option, we can just try to search, all the areas, and the approach to the search is discovered items, sessions by user, applications by user, and servers without hotfix. And we can also put which area that you want to go for. Maybe if we install Zen Desktop later, that would also come here. So we would be able to search from Zen Desktop's huge. When the environment becomes huge, then probably the search is the main option that we would want to do. Okay. And then there is my views. So we can, just like in MMC in Windows, we have Microsoft Management Console in Windows. We have my views here as well, where you can just put your views from these areas. So if I go to new here and select a view, and edit my view, and in fact put okay, Amir's view uh, for Citrix. Well, we don't have to say for Citrix. It is Citrix, right? It's not like we're choosing for Microsoft, VMware, or Citrix, SCCM, Exchange. Anyway, so the view is there, and then we can go and add items to my view. And then there is all those Citrix resources coming. So if I double click that and keep going to the My Form, then I can add, all the areas. So we uh, have administrators or applications. If I click add, I just want to daily check applications, and I would sometimes want to check daily servers applications are one thing that are always constantly on the look. Then there are zones that it's just like in Microsoft, you have sites. So for service localizations, there are zones here in Citrix that you can collect a bunch of servers. So if they are Toronto servers, you can create a zone called Toronto zone and put those servers in the Toronto zone, and then create a New York zone or create Hamilton zone or Mississauga zone. Then worker groups I'm just repeating some of the concepts that you could go for, create a group of servers that you could deploy some configurations together. So as I said, in huge environments, there's always hundreds of servers. So this would really help when it comes down to, oh, we just need to have configuration changes on these servers out of 100 servers, 17 servers. So if you create a group of that, then later you would apply lots of changes according to what applications they are deployed there, according to what areas they are in, or any way you want to create a group. We're going to be doing all that later in the labs just to check all the things. So this is the view. If I put there now, whenever I start the XenApp Center again, it would just show me the view there. I am on the second XenApp server now and wanted to check if whatever I do there or make changes there, shouldn't it be, replicated or reached here as well on the second server? But for that, I need to start that XenApp environment there as well. So if I go to the second server and then go to administrative tools and go to Citrix here, and then management consoles. So Citrix XenApp, Citrix App Center is there, which is our main dashboard. We're just going to disable this authentic code. And then there it is. It has started that discovery wizard again. Although last time we did discover that, but I think we checked all that discovery and both servers are showing only on this server, on the first server. We did not, or I did not do the discovery, so the second server should exactly look like this. I did not do that. So if I go to the second server, if I started that, if any one of you have started with me, do you see the same wizard opening for the second server? Or, maybe the second server just populated exactly like this dashboard, right? So I'll just put it there. Next. For now, I'm just gonna uncheck the single sign-on. We just are interested in creating our XenApp environment. Okay, so there's a comment there. Yes, so Manzar has. Oh, so you get the wizard. Okay, so I'll just go ahead with XenApp, unchecking this option. Second thing is add local computer. It should add the local server here. Then click add the second server as well, so it should just detect that. Normally, it should discover it automatically. Let's just first check if it has discovered it automatically. Otherwise, we're just going to add it manually. So I have added the local one, which is the second XenApp server for load balancing. I'm just going to click next here. And, okay, it just added the first one. Yeah, this message always pops up that you don't have any applications yet published. Yes, we haven't. We will be doing that, but thank you for a reminder. And if I go, okay, both servers were actually, it did not show there, but both servers were detected. And this is what where we can say that it's really working perfectly or normal. There is that hot fix management separately available there, which can be used compared to hotfix list, and then configure hotfix list. We're going to be doing that in some of the future labs, that how to deploy that, and of course we should have internet connection for that as well. There are filters here, and we can just select the hot fixes, and then hotfix summary. Okay, that's where the summary is coming. That so there is an information for product version, product, but this is something we're going to be visiting. Hotfix comparison results, where one server has what hotfix and the other server has, or if there's a baseline that we create that, okay, this should be all included in the hotfix, then are all the servers really compliant with that baseline or not? Anyway, we're going to be doing that. So XenApp is our main area where we're going to be working a lot. There is that my form, one single form that we have created here, and we have there are all those options that we will be configuring one by one. And today we're going to be adding, actually creating 4 users, 4 security groups that we're going to create, and then we're going to be seeing how to add those users there. So administrators, there is just one user there, but we're going to be trying to delegate. We're going to try to learn how to delegate to a group, or maybe a desktop, Citrix desktop groups, which are given either view only, or just on one server, one desktop group can manage, and the other server, another desktop group can manage, or just custom configurations, or a full administrator you want to create somebody. We're going to do that too, but this is where the delegation can be done for 4 types of things. What we're going to do, we're going to see that. And then there are applications that we are supposed to deploy, but we will be doing that on another class, where we're going to be first deploying just simple applications. Then we're going to go for and try to do some complicated applications as well. Then there is history, which needs to be enabled, right, and is not enabled right now. And it is just like we have our, in administrative tools, we have event viewer, where all the events are shown. But if we get to, so history will be populated once we enable that, and it's going to show all the events. But if we still go to the events and would want to know if any error happened to the Citrix environment, normally the events related to any application are shown here in the application log in the event viewer of the server, where I just went. Although if I go and expand this applications and services logs in the event viewer from administrative tools, which I just opened, there is that Citrix folder already created there. And if there are any Citrix related events that are going to happen, they should be mentioned here, but not all. It's just one multimedia written here. So even our event viewer will be covering the Citrix events. But if I go to application here, and if I want to, if I wonder, okay, this is an application which I just deployed, just like on Exchange Server, if I deploy Exchange Server, so I would go for that application log, and then try to look for Exchange events. So this is a Citrix application. I would want to go to the Citrix logs if there were any created. So if I click anywhere here and click find or control F, this will come. So just an overall view, if I go for Citrix, is there any event that mentions Citrix at all? So yes, so there is one event that is this desktop window manager was unable to start because of composited theme. Well, some event on a Citrix mem server, but this is just a member server related. Another one, and it's the member server 2. So it's the local server it is telling about, but any Citrix application event. So if I keep going for find and check if there were any Citrix related events, well, whatever is happening on the Citrix server, definitely it's going to mention the Citrix name, but they are not Citrix events till now. So we can have PowerShell based also search for the Citrix, but this is just I'm just wanted to know if there were any event logged for the Citrix, but we're gonna start doing things, then it's going to mention the events as well. Okay, there is that option there. So there is one that is Citrix. This one you're talking about. So Citrix streaming service started successfully. So 4100 is the event ID. Thank you for noticing this. And Citrix offline plugin. So there is, Citrix related events as well. If we want to filter current log, so there is that source, which is Citrix offline plugin or anything Citrix. So if we go for source, does it already mention? Because it's going to mention all the sources that are available in this view. And in the C, there is no specific mentioning. Oh, we haven't gone. Okay, there are a lot. So these are all the sources: Citrix install related and Citrix WMI, Citrix XenApp, streamed apps, health. So definitely in application log, we would see through the source that how many Citrix related events are already coming in the event viewer. So that will be, very useful for us get to know what's going on with the Citrix environment and any related errors. So Citrix app, streamed apps, which I actually did not, or Citrix health monitoring, or both actually. If I go and check that, does it really load it? Well, there are those listed as sources, but there is no event yet related that has been started in this. So, okay, then there's a message in the chat that Timur is ready. So can you give me the partner ID so we could just check why the form is not starting quickly? Okay. No, so it worked when we restarted the farm hosting server. Oh, it worked, guys. Oh, you're able to listen to me, right? So it worked. Akash, can you now continue with us? So it worked, and the form was showing there, so I at once stopped that connection because it was a horrible sound coming. But the troubleshooting we did was that we checked the connectivity, then we checked the services, all the services were okay. MFCOM service I restarted, but then it still was not working. So when I restarted the whole form server, then all the services were refreshed for Citrix, and any other dependencies for those Citrix services, they also got restarted, and then the servers were discovered. No problem. It's not inconvenience, Akash. It's just that we all also wanted to see if we run into this kind of problem where our servers are not detecting. So what kind of troubleshooting we do. So that's why I wanted everyone to see that. Otherwise, if it was a one-off thing that I'm just doing something for one person, then I would have done it after the class. This I wanted to show just to have in the record that, oh, my both forms are not showing, then follow this troubleshooting because later you will find this problem that your forms are not discovering. And if you have 3 or 4 forms later or 3 or 4 servers in a form and they're all not discovering, then this is the troubleshooting that you need to go to, right? Okay. So let's go ahead with the rest of the tasks there. So we were talking about the view for Citrix, then we were talking about hotfix, and we're going to be doing the hotfix management. Hopefully I'll be putting some PowerShell commands there as well. But right now let's just get that introduction, then we create some delegation for the users as well. That's my form. Then there's administrators. But in fact, guys, what I wanted to do here in the slide I wanted to put the troubleshooting as well. So Tshoot in case the servers in the form are not detecting. And this is just permanently for us that check connectivity between the Citrix servers. Check firewall. This is just, one thing that everyone should have in mind. Firewall, and then check all the Citrix services if they are in started mode against the automatic, which is a startup type. They should all be in started, whichever is showing automatic. And then if then try to do discovery of servers. If not still discovered, then restart the first server, which is the farm hosting server and our data collector. So restart this and then try to discover again. Okay. So this is what I did till now, and it was kind of we could not get it, so that's why I put this troubleshooting steps that I went through in case the form servers are not detected, okay, or discovered. So let me go back here. So for administrators, we're going to be coming back here for delegation. Then the applications, we're going to be deploying or publishing lots of applications. There are this, we can have folders, then we can have applications as well published, but we're going to be talking in a separate class for what are these options that we need to be careful about, how we can publish applications, what type of applications we can publish. So this is a console where we can do that, and we can create folders just to categorize the publication, applications that these are applications for accounts department. These are for other departments or other branches as well. So we can categorize those applications through creating folders here. But we're going to be visiting it. Then there's that history we were talking about that is just like event viewer. And then we talked about the events as well, that Citrix related events in the event viewer. Then there are load balancing policies and load evaluators available for evaluating the CPU utilization and memory of all the servers and applications. So usage by application can be shown here, and usage by server can be shown here as well. But we're going to be trying to properly configure it later. Right now, we just need to know the basic interfaces and then do the delegation for that. So then there are policies that we would want to create, and there's a modeling wizard as well. If you have gone through the Microsoft group policies, there are many things similar in Citrix policies with Microsoft group policies. In fact, you will be amazed that there are some Citrix policies that will be, created inside the Microsoft group policies as well, or tuned. If I go to the server DC just to check if it has already been created, because later we're going to be checking those. So I'm on the domain controller right now. If I go to group policy management here, and if I go expand my domain, Citrix Forest, I just wanted to double check. So if I go to the default domain policy here and go to the settings just to check if there are some policies configured. These are just the basic policies, not Citrix related. If I go and click edit, it has not yet created automatically Citrix related policies, but later it will be creating some Citrix related policies as we configure with as we mess with the policies in general. So it's going to create automatically some Citrix. But I just wanted to configure, just check if there were already not some policies created. No, it shows here if there were any policies created, if you have done the group policy in Microsoft before. But right now there are none. But once we start doing some configurations, it's going to we're going to go and discover that there are policies created by Citrix as well in the group policy area. So then there are these servers, and when we click one server, it has huge details available for that, and lots of tabs there. So there's Citrix Mem, there's a Citrix XenApp for Windows, Platinum Edition. So this is the Platinum Edition we did discover, configure, sorry, and 650 we are working on. So service pack none, we're going to be deploying that. Session count 0. 2008 R2. Okay, so this is all the detailed default zone. Right now, we haven't created any zone to separate the service localization. So to suppose there are branches, so it will be showing that, okay, it is in which zone. In fact, if I go to zones now, so there is that default zone, everyone is available, both servers are available, and then there is election preference of which server is the first one or preferred one in the zone. If I go and right click, so there are default zones here and there are servers showing here. I just want to make sure that all the information is available. So if I go to right click zone and create a new zone, there are all those steps. So name the new zone and select servers, election preferences, finish creating the new zone. What I did was I right clicked the zones here and clicked next here. So if these are the Toronto servers, suppose there are many search servers in Toronto, and if I go for first server as the Citrix server and click add here and then go for Citrix server, and most preferred would be this, as whatever we configure here will be copied to other servers, so it will be the most preferred. Let's select one or more servers and click on the edit button to change the election preference. So most preferred, default, no, not preferred. So from which server the data collector should prefer to get the settings to relate to other Citrix servers, right? So the settings and configurations of most preferred server will be relayed to other to apply to their, just like in Microsoft servers, there is that master browser, or there is one domain controller whose settings are replicated to all the other domain controllers. There's that most preferred server in Citrix as well, whose settings are replicated to all others through data collector. So, okay, if we go there next and finish, so we have created a zone called Toronto servers. So all Toronto servers are supposed to be, so all Toronto users, the applications deployed to those users should be, redirected to the Toronto servers. Any users in New York should not be connecting automatically to the Toronto Citrix servers for application publication or connecting to an application. So they should be connected to the locally available Citrix servers. That's why zones are configured there. But we're going to be going in depth right now. I'm just creating some sample zones just to get this up and running. So I'm just going to go for NY zones. There are Toronto zones and then there's NY zones. If I go for the second server, add next and default preference, but the most preferred is still the first one. Oops. So yeah, it's going to be created inside. What I've done is there are created two zones here, NY zones instead of the default zone. Now it has NY zone and Toronto zones, and these zones have their own servers, right? But the main thing is still that these are just like sites in Windows that get to configure for service localization. So the services of Toronto remains in Toronto, and the users of New York are not actually trying to access Toronto servers to get that service and use the that bandwidth over the WAN connection. So there are zones, then there are worker groups, and that's where the all the we can do the grouping. NP. Okay, cool. So worker groups are there to have a collection of servers that we can put the configuration, deploy the configuration on. But we don't have a lot of servers here to group together, but we're going to later try to see how they work. So for servers, when I go back to the servers area, there is that all the other tabs which are servers related, and this is going to show how many users are connected to which server, but this is overall server, and hotfix details, hotfix summary, and it's saying that already it is uh, non-compliant, or we're going to be, hotfix configuration. Let me just expand that. Hotfix count, 0 hotfixes have been applied. We're going to apply it later. But right now, if we go to servers one by one, then there is very much detailed information. Published application is just an extra tab, and processes is another extra tab once we publish an application. So these are the server, mostly these are the areas we're going to be working on. And then later we're going to talk about single sign-on for, connecting a user through the different services of Citrix, like Citrix Zen Desktop, as well as Zen app. So with one single sign-on, the user can access all the infrastructure services and don't have to be signed in again and again to access different types of services. Also, let's go and check our some of the concepts here where data collector was. To maintain consistent information between zones, data collectors relay information to all other data collectors in a form, right? Creating a network traffic. So just to remind that, just a reminder of those concepts, let's go ahead now to have some delegation done for those users. So there is that one simple diagram or a table that shows what are the delegation objectives that we need to meet. So if I just expand it bigger and put it like that. So now let's give delegation to users and groups in Citrix environment. There is that. So the purpose of this exercise is that we want to delegate certain users permission for different areas or different levels of Citrix. So there is a Citrix full access, there is, which is of course the admins should be having that. Then there is Citrix view only access, and then there is Toronto Citrix servers access, Montreal Citrix. Well, this is the that table that we have created. I created the NY group, but according to the table I should have created Montreal instead of NY. But anyway, what we want to see from or learn from there, that there are different levels that we can give access to different types of admins according to. So there's Citrix admin we're going to create a group for and add this user there. Help desk group we will create and give them only view only access. Then there's Toronto admin group that we want to create a New York admin instead of Montreal admin that we want to give access, to different parts of the servers. So how do we give delegation to different areas of the environment? For that, I'm just going to go quickly and create, Mike Adams, Chris Harris, Dave Jocelyn, Ali Khan. So I'm just going to go and create, according to this table, the users that are going to be, given access, delegated access to the Citrix environment. For that, I'm on the domain controller, going to Active Directory users and computers. Wow, lots of sounds. Okay, So what I can do is I can create it inside the users area, and instead of going for those exact usernames, I can go for user 01, user 02, user 03, user 04 instead. So I could go for those for user 01, copy and enter, and then go for uncheck this user must change password and finish. Then I'll just go for user one, right click user one, copy, and although there's nothing there that would be beneficial for copying other than I uncheck that option or which will stay unchecked if I just copy from the earlier user. So next, finish. Um, so I'll quickly just go for two more. There are three and Control C. So re-enter the passwords and four. So okay, so and then either we can add users to different areas of Citrix, or we can add groups, which is much better. That if there are huge desktop teams that suppose you have 40,000 users in a company, and there would be many desktop teams for different branches, departments. You won't. It's not good idea to have users added to different areas except for the administrator user. You can have one or two or create a group, but it's always good to create groups that whoever you want to give access to any of the areas, like view only access to the Citrix environment, you would just add that user to the group instead of going through the Citrix wizard of delegation and then add that single user. Or maybe there are a huge amount of desktop teams for a big environment. They would just want to have a view only. So definitely creating groups is much more beneficial in the long run than creating having simple users added to different areas of Citrix. And also later it becomes a problem when you have to trace back, okay, who has what access at what time. You can remove a group easily, but removing all the users one by one is also a big hassle. So I've just put that Citrix diagram to my side on the other screen, so I could keep on seeing that. Seriously. Okay, keep on seeing that. So what I'm doing here is now I have four security groups that I need to create. One is Citrix admin, help desk, Toronto admin, and New York admin. So I'm just going to quickly create four groups here, security groups and global. So new and group, and it will be global and security. We don't need distribution, of course. It's not a messaging environment that we're putting. So first of all, I'm just going to put the Citrix admin. Whatever users I put in the Citrix admin, once I add the security group to the Citrix environment, I will be able to easily add and remove users, right? Okay, so there will be a break at 12 o'clock um, for 10 minutes or 15 minutes if you want. Or you can have a break now, and we can start sharp at 12 or 12:05, right? Because this lab will go on. It's a bit longer lab where we need to check all the stuff. So guys, let's have a break now till 12:10 so we could finish there are two labs, this one and the other one. I'll just explain that again when you come back. So we could start at 12:10, right? Okay.
Amir, can we start The first lesson from the beginning.
First lesson from the beginning. Yeah, that was nice. Thanks for giving me a heart attack. Thank you. Oh man, serious? Okay. Okay, 10-minute break. 10-minute break, or 10 or 12 minutes. So uh, we start at
11.
12:05. Yeah, actually. Okay, guys, break. Let's take a break and come back. That's why, because the everyone's environment has not is not ready. So I'm resuming this, and so that's why there are not many. Yeah, resume. Thank you. I resumed it now. So smaller labs are included today, and just discussions of all the points which are important in it in their own way, and the troubleshooting today included really will be useful for you whenever you run into that problem of not discovering your servers, and that will come to you more than once, that your servers you would not be able to discover. So let's go ahead with this task of delegation. Then we have another management console lab, which are both not long labs or not complicated ones, but they're very important labs that when you become a Citrix system admin, you have to do at least go through this at any point in time. So let's go ahead and do this. So I'm just going to drag this screen away again to my second screen so I could see myself what group names were there, and I'll just drag back the previous screen where I stopped. This is the lab, but before, just a small briefing that what we are doing is delegating these users. So if I put this to bigger screen, now what we're delegating is 4 users. Instead of putting the names, I put user 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just creating security groups quickly for Citrix admin, help desk, Toronto admin, and New York admin. And then I'm going in the Citrix environment. I will go there and I will try to put these users there, and delegate the permissions to those areas, and then we will know how to delegate, because in a huge environment, you as a system admin alone cannot do things. You will have to do these things of delegating other people who are trained for Citrix, or desktop help desk people who are supposed to access some part of the Citrix environment. So I'm just going to create those groups now. I have already created those users. Now I'm going to create a group. So I've already, if I look back at my um, PowerPoint slide, Citrix admin group I was creating. So it's global and security, which is the default selection. I'm just gonna click OK. Then I'm gonna create the second group as the help desk, and it will also be from the Windows side, it's just global and security, the default options. I'm just putting the names there. So help desk, and then the third group is the Toronto admin. So this is for the Toronto zone actually, or the servers in the Toronto, or that one server we have in the Toronto zone. And fourth group would be the NY group, which is the zone name as well we created for New York branch. So press OK. There are 4 groups here now, and so I'm just putting user 1 into Citrix admin. So we could have so I'm just going to expand the screen and make it full screen now. The user 1, I'm just going to put it to add to a group. And which group? It will be Citrix. If I put just Cit, check name Citrix admin. So user 1 is added to Citrix admin group. If I go check it as alphabetical, so there's NY group, and there is Citrix admin is here. So double click that. Members, User one is added. Okay. So second group is help desk. I'm just going to quickly add for help desk the second user, user 02, check name, press OK, apply, OK. And then Toronto admin, user 3. So I'm just going to go for T and members, add user 03, check name, press OK, apply OK, and NY group as user 04. So the good thing about adding groups to the Citrix areas, delegation areas is that you can add and remove users whenever you want instead of maintaining so many users separately. Check name, press OK, apply OK. So now we have four groups. Let's go to the permissions area and try to give permissions on different areas of administration. Let's delegate those. So I'm just going to go to the Citrix form on the first server or second server. I can go to any of those because second server is also showing the same settings, right? So first server, I'm going there. I also wanted to check if whatever I made changes here have reached there to the second server or not. So you remember that it's new zones, NY zones, Toronto servers created, and here in view, I have created this Amir's view for Citrix, and inside I added these three. So if I go to the second server, my view is not updated yet. Refresh does not also update. So these guys are not have not yet talked. Default zone is also not created. I think I created them before another try performing the task again is a problem contact system support. So if I close this, because those servers are supposed to be having same configurations, so I'm just gonna Citrix App Center, go back there, initializing, um, and so we will have to look if okay zones are there, but what about view? So view is still so guys under the form they are replicating. Above the form is our separate dashboard or per server dashboard, right? But what's supposed to be replicated is within the form, right? Whatever settings I do here, and I'm going to be doing the settings here now, administrators. So whatever I'm doing here should be reached here, or whatever's under the form should be reaching each other, right? So if I go back to my server, and let me just, okay, if I go back to my servers and administrators now, so let's try to create a delegation. So add administrator. If I go there, then there are Citrix user selector or operating system user selector. If I go for operating user selector and click at this user selector displays users available to the local computer, not to the server farm. So no, we do not want to add users of this local computer, which is Citrix MEM01. So I'll go to the Citrix user selector and then click add. Now it shows us that environment, the domain environment we have. We do not want to go to the local user, we want to go to the domain user. So if we go double click that, it's going to ask for credentials. Let's go and put these credentials there, administrator, the password. I hope it remembers, and I think it's going to pop up every time. So now it's showing me that, area. So if I click users, it is supposed to populate those users as well, but let me check if I go to the users area. Yep, so everything inside the users which I created is there. So for Citrix 7, yeah, there's a chat comment that from other options as well we can add the users, but yeah, there are many other ways. But let's just add this right now for our groups that we have created. So for the administrator privilege, if I wanted to go for Citrix admin, I'm looking for Citrix which is there it is. And Citrix admin is here. Press OK. And there is that add local administrators available option here as well if you want to add the local administrator for this server as well. Let's not do that for now. Next, now it says that what level you want to give to the Citrix admin security group that I added. So these three levels are there: view only, full administration, and custom. So view only, of course, will have view only privileges, can view all areas of server form management, but cannot modify them. Full administration will have full access. Custom, where we can go to different areas of our Citrix form as a whole in this on the left side, what we are seeing. And then we can just assign some of the areas or one or two areas that to that person or the user or the group. So for now, Citrix admins are security group is supposed to have full administration. So I'm just going to select the full administration and click finish. So there's that Citrix admin security group added. If I wanted to add another user to have full Citrix admin, suppose we interviewed other users, then I'll create another user and I'll go to Citrix admin and I'll just come here and members and click add, and that user, once added to this Citrix admin group, will have all the privileges of a full administrator for the whole Citrix form. So of course we should be careful about that. Although I've created a group because this is a very sensitive task. I would also just go for adding a user as well, because there will be very few of them in a small to medium sized organization. But in large organization, there are many Citrix admins. So still, you would want to have a good to keep a good eye on that. So then we can go for add administrator again. Now I just want to add oh, it did remember the password. Cool. So now I want to add the help desk group. So if I go to help desk, all those security groups were created in the users, and click here anywhere and help desk added. Okay. And definitely I would want to give them view only because you know why. Oh, okay. So view only, of course. We can go custom. We can go custom, but for now, view only. Click finish. So these guys are view only, and then I'll just add the third administrator as the custom. So double click that, go inside the users. So there will be two groups. So I have already created a Toronto zone. I have already created New York zone, but it's not like we're giving on zone level permissions, although we're going to check that too, but we're going to try to give one group of Toronto admin. If I go anywhere and click T, this is the Toronto admin. I want to give the members of this security group access to only the Toronto server, which we have, right? So Citrix mem01, we are considering pretending that it's a Toronto server because we added it to a Toronto zone. So I'll just double click that Toronto admin, press OK. And when we go next, we go for custom now. And if we go next, now you can see that we can check any of those environments here. If I go for servers here, then we can go and check any servers. But I wanted to be specific about the servers as well, that it should not be giving access to. So if we wanted to separate the servers, so what can we do? These are all the server related tasks that this user can do, but it's somehow not showing me if I want to choose the servers. It was supposed to show me that if I go back here, disable Citrix administrator accounts. Nope. So default servers, view administrator. So if I go to full administrator, no, it's not gonna. Custom, next, my form, if I just expand or let, it does not expand any further than this. So, and there are no zones also showing there, so it is not going to be showing the zones. So this is we're going to just select all of these options. So on the servers, edit the server operating system, server settings, move and remove servers. Yeah, this is a server. And sessions when it comes to sessions. Um, so Mahfouz, on the chat, there's option, there was zone edit option. So guys, anyone seeing, okay, and back. So, yeah, next. And there's the custom option, right? So disable Citrix administrators. Do you see, okay, workers, policies, do you see that in your environment? Anyone else is seeing, guys, are anyone seeing servers, two separate servers, or, anyone seeing that, or are you seeing exactly how I am seeing that the servers option is not expandable or not expanding? Same exactly everyone, right? Okay. So yeah, there's no zone option as well. Yeah, administrator. No, this is a custom option, right? So Mahfouz, the administrator option just takes you, if we go for administrator option, full administration, it just goes finished. There's no next there, right? Because now you get administration of everything. Custom is that you need to choose there, right? So I'm just going to go for servers. Yes, Toronto admins, go for servers and go and check these options. And I'm just going to click finish here, and this Toronto admin is getting these options. But if I go and just check, right click, I just wanted to make sure that on the server side, there are no views, there are no areas to really go for. There's one session information connected here. And let me just check quickly here. Oh, that's just hotfix. Okay, so I'm just going to go for the second group as well and try to give them delegation. But if I go for zone directly, do I get to do anything here? If I go for zone, set server, zone election preference, nope, nothing. So I'm just going to go back to administrators and just add the second group as well, though I'm sure, and I need to dig it out later, the option of these are the recommended hot fixes. Nope. So I'm just going to go and add administrator for the and other tasks, permissions. Um, so yeah, we can just edit those permissions later if we want, but view administrators, edit, centrally configured web interface size. Nope, nothing else other than this. So I'm just going to add the fourth group here as well and check. So click the user selector, add, and okay, there are top level account authorities. Yeah, nothing here. It's the same thing. So go for domain, go for users, and then go for the fourth group, which is NY. So NY group, double click that and press OK. So guys, one more thing. If I remove the group here and go for show users, then I go for user 04, which is inside the NY group, double click just the user, just to, we saw all the group options, right? Let's go for user option as well and check if there is anything change other than what we already saw. So just user added and just custom setting added. And if I go to any of those areas, it's going to be the same. So if we go for administrator, then go to servers. So nope, we don't want to make this guy and view administrators. So again, I'm selecting the servers or any other area. Maybe that, okay, let's just change the scenario here. Instead of, okay, Toronto admins are handling the Toronto or both the servers or all the servers or whatever is in the servers, New York can be given, according to the options, I'm just talking that, okay, this is exactly what's available. Okay, there is that option. Okay, Mahfouz is also saying that, okay, cancel out from here. Let's see if we are missing something. Yeah, my form, right click and go for form properties or add administrator, if we go to add administrator, it just starts that same. If I go to, although just for the delegation area we were trying, but if we want to go for, nope, configuration logging, configure database, yeah. So form properties, I'm just going for administrator right now, Mahfouz, right? So administrator, if I go next here, double click. So guys, this could be our task that if we want to give a group, one group, just a permission for one Citrix server instead of all servers, can we delegate that or not? So that would be our task as well. If you want to Google now, you can Google it now. If you want to Google later and add it to your screenshots, you can do it as something you've done. So I'll just go quickly and do this fourth security group and press OK, next, custom, next, servers. Application already has, so user 4 has already delegation with handling applications. I'm just going to give it, user 4 or the group as delegation for those servers as well. If I go now back to administrators, so I can see all the groups with all the permissions, administrators, Citrix. So there are two full admins, one view admin, and then there is NY group and Toronto admin as custom admins. And if we go to current settings here, so NY group, current settings below, if I just expand that, so they have settings for, I think I enabled the view only, that's why it's showing that, but they should have settings for public applications, published applications, and servers. So whatever permissions are there are showing below, and we can actually drag them up, I think. Yeah. Okay. So that just, shows all for all the detailed permissions that we have. And then we have administrator properties here. So if I go to administrator properties, it just takes us back. Permissions is one other thing that it is showing, and it is still, we can just edit the whole thing for the group separately, even after we have created. Or you can just disable the Citrix administrator accounts if for temporarily you want to do that. So cancel out from here. This is the delegation for all the forms area. Then we have the view that we showed that we can add through add items to my view, and then we can go ahead and go to form. And if I just want to add servers, I can add servers, which I already added, but this is how we add or load evaluators or, load balancing or history, and I can press OK. And then we had all this. Okay, there is another option from Munzer in the chat. Yep. Okay, create folder. So so on the servers, move to folder or create folder? Move server in that folder, create folder 2. Oh, okay. This is the server. So create a folder. Okay. Toronto. If we create a folder on the servers tab here and press OK, and then move the Toronto server there just for organization. So now inside the Toronto, there is that. And then, okay. So create folders there on the folder I'm looking, or if I go to the server. So here, if that server is seeing this, or the server has any option to have permissions added on folder, suppose, okay, if you click servers and then the folder is not showing contents, yeah, there's a folder showing, change display, create folder, other tasks, permissions. And if we go for, okay, so that's particularly to this server for this folder. Okay. So now it comes down to folder level. Okay, good, good. If we have this folder, and suppose if we have 10 servers or 20 servers in Toronto, uh, still is it, it's not going to be server level, but definitely this is good that we at least have on the through folder we can have just one, or even we can create a folder separate for that one server as you discovered this. So then on folder level, if you put the permission and we just put one server there, okay, I just wanted to give you delegation for that one server, so it's a good thing that you pointed out that. But if we can have 10 servers inside that folder, and folder level permission will just give you that much. So if I click add here, so Toronto admin or New York admin, if I go for Toronto admin, press OK. So now Toronto admin is here, and if I click edit, we can make a full administration for that particular folder and whatever server is under that, and or we can just go for the task, which is all the server related tasks. So that's good. So that's good. So all the options, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So Toronto admin. So on server level, definitely, thank you for this, and it works. If we can just add one server, if we want to choose. So in that scenario, if we go to server directly, it's not going to work in Citrix dashboard, but we can go for Toronto there. So that's a good discovery. Thank you. And so through the folder we can do it, but through servers we cannot. Let's go. This is a delegation. If there are any comments there, thanks for this, Manzar. And let's go ahead with, yeah, it's not going to work on zone level. It's not showing there. But the thing is that let's go and check another option because our time is finishing now. If there's another scenario here, if there are any questions here, you can just put it in the chat. But because we can try to have permission for any areas of this, and we can do our own discovery once we know how to delegate. We can do that. Yeah. So let's go ahead and try to do another small lab. Yep. Okay, there are comments in the chat right now coming, but the main thing is that we do get to have this information of delegation on any level we want to do that. So zones also, we don't find anything here in related to permission, but we can discover it later. That's the main thing, that we need to dig out many areas of this environment, but here in the class we can go for the major or main task. After that you can dig out and check all the smaller areas as well, right? So there's another scenario where okay, there's another comment in the chat. When you select custom and then my form is selected, it shows edit zone option. Don't know if that will work. So what you're saying is when you select custom and then my form is selected. So you create a new zone or custom where Mahfouz, if you have seen that option there for permission, we can try to, you can try to, put that in the screenshots as well. Guys, anyone else also discovers any other option? Because these are finer details. These are uh, lots of details for one option, right? And that's good that we are digging it. That's very good. But for the class time, I just wanted to go to another option lab because we have a few minutes left now, 15, 20 minutes left. So let's go for the second lab quickly, then we can come back and do also more digging. Yeah, zones are not for zones are for separating, just like sites. They are for service localization. So on servers level, this is the option for servers, but zones is for separate, separating the servers according to the physical location, right? Okay, so the second scenario is that if so when you join as a Citrix admin, or if you join as any admin, VMware admin or Microsoft admin or SCCM admin, you're supposed to be given from your remote desktop uh, that, access to all the servers, right? So what happens is you're sitting in this client machine, and then you want to access the Citrix environment. The one thing is that, okay, do a remote desktop connection to this Citrix server or
Amir,
this Citrix server. Yep,
excuse me. Could you do me
yep.
a favor? Can you can you change mem to IP address? It just makes me nervous.
Mem to IP address?
200, yeah, they're the same IP address.
Oh, still, thank you for
Yeah, just
letting me know
when I
that.
look at that, yeah, I know it's three, but when I look at that,
Oh yeah, it's like, yeah, we could just fall down because oh man. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Thank you for this.
thank you.
Thank you for thank you. Okay. Thanks. Okay, so it's now 203. Yeah, so all others are chatting, but we are used to talking on mic in previous SCCM class. So yeah, okay, guys. So let's go ahead, and if you are supposed to, as a Citrix admin, you're supposed to connect to Citrix server to handle the Citrix form. There is that management console in Windows 7 or 8 or 10 you have, that you can deploy that management console, and the whole dashboard that you see on any of the Citrix servers will be here showing in the Windows 7. This is the same for when you have in Windows environment, you put the tool called RSAT or RSAT, and it also gives you the Active Directory and all the other tools that you would find when you connect through remote desktop to the domain controller. Whatever you see in the tools area there, that would all be showing in the Windows 8 or Windows 7, but that's going to be all remote icons or remote connections, right? So there's a management console for the Citrix environment as well. So I did not, I did show you this, and I asked you that to create a basic lab of at least 3 servers, but later or today, go ahead and install a Windows 7 or Windows 8 as well, just for this lab. Maybe we'll not be using all 4 machines in all the other future labs, but we have to still at least do it once, because that's what we're going to be doing in the Citrix environment. When you're Citrix admin, you would want to have a management console, and it would show the dashboard exactly as you see the dashboard of MyFarm on any of these servers. But the good thing is, when you have that dashboard seeing in Windows 7, you would not, then you don't have to remotely connect to any of these servers from your Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10 machine. So let's try to install a management console on this server. So for that, no, it's not servers, Windows client machines. I have mentioned here Windows 8, but I have put my Windows 7 there for this. If you have Windows 8, you can try that too, because you have the Citrix XenApp 6.5 ISO. From there, we're going to install the management console or the dashboard for the MyFarm on our Windows 7 or 8 machine, so we do not have to go remote desktop. That's how it works for Citrix admins in the job environment, production environment. So I'm just gonna go back to my Citrix machine. Windows 7 machine, and attach the ISO of Citrix XenApp 6.5. Then I'm going to install the management console, and then try to discover these 2 Citrix servers there. And if I have perfect connectivity, I will be able to see the exact same dashboard which we were just working on right now on the servers, right? So let's go to the Windows 7 in my case, that machine, and let's try to do this so we can remotely have that connection available, and that's how it works in the production environment. So I'm gonna go for my workstation and go to the Windows 7, which I already installed. You can install it later, guys, just to do this lab. So it's joined to the domain, and I'll just log in to this Windows 7 machine, And the first thing I would want to make sure is that the firewalls are off, so I don't have any connectivity issues here. System and security, Windows firewall, and one firewall is on, so the domain profile firewall. So I'm just gonna if we have a company policy of keeping the firewalls on, in my company there is no policy. I mean, the policy is to keep the firewalls off because we have good perimeter security and other security software per machine installed, like McAfee endpoint protection, which has everything covered. So, but we don't manage our firewalls, and we don't have to add exceptions to the firewalls because we don't add that. Also, I would go and check the connectivity for my Citrix servers because these servers will be discovered in the Windows 7 machine in my case. So I'm just gonna quickly check the firewall condition here, and on the second Citrix server also on the OOBE. Yep. So there should be no communication error at least, because it's, and one more thing is if it's resolving names, so I'm just going to go for NS lookup and, okay, it's connected to internet right now. This is not my domain. This is uh, the ISP domain I have. So I just have to go back to the, yeah, the internet is right now enabled. So I'm just going to, and for future, I'm just going to rename those as well. This is internet NIC and this is the local NIC. And then I'll just disable this internet NIC so at least my name resolution is working fine for my workstation. ipconfig flush DNS, ipconfig register DNS, and then go for NS lookup again by up arrow, NS lookup is there, enter, and it should give me Citrix domain, although it's not giving because I did not configure the reverse lookup zone there on my DC. The correct IP is there, which is good enough for a pure Windows environment. So I'm good. At least it's, as long as it's not my, ISP or DSL, DSL IP. So I'm okay with my 201. So I'll minimize that. I think there should be no communication error when it wants to discover the two servers. So I'm now going to mount that. I'm going to mount what? I'm going to mount that Citrix ISO to the Windows 7. So for that, I'm going to go to settings, and then I'm going to go for DVD here, browse, and Citrix 6.5 2008. This is the ISO we are using right now. So double click that and press OK. Um, and it should pop up on the DVD, or I could just go for the yellow folder, the Windows Explorer. There it is. Mounted to the DVD, the XenApp 6.5. Double click that. In fact, auto run that. Okay. It's not gonna work like that. So there it is, auto run. And then we're going to be going for install components here, then to the common components, and then management console here, right? So let's go for management console and try to go next here, accept the license, next. Okay, these prereqs need to be installed, and it's going to install itself. That's why I basically installed the internet network card, or enabled that so I could be connected to internet. But I'm just gonna go for next here, and if this is going to be installed, commands for clients and XenApp management, and go next. If I go ahead with this, because my internet, I just disabled it right now. So I just wanted to see if it picks up all the files from the ISO. Then I'm just going to enable the internet and run it, and it's going to install that. But suppose if you don't have internet connection at that time, what will happen? So okay. Okay, 1 of 3 installed. 2 of 3. So installing Citrix XenApp commands for clients. Installing Citrix XenApp commands for clients. Okay. And 3 of 3 is installing Citrix XenApp management. Guys, it is installed. You know, if you are or any one of you is trying to do that right now, and if it does not install, and it might not install for you, why? Because I already checked this installation here. So I had internet connection before. I installed it, installed. Then I removed it before the class, right? Then I right now disabled the internet because of, name resolution. But the internet was disabled during the installation of this. But because I installed everything so before with the internet connection, so it did download all the plugins and everything that it required, right? So in your case, if it does not install and you have your internet disabled or not connected at all, just add another network interface card there and then, connect it to your local DSL. So in my case, I have 2 NICs here. One is the local one is the second. Second one is bridged. So this means that it can be connected and get an IP address from my physical network, from my DSL, home DSL. So all I need to do is always have this network card added there with this setting. The second one, not the first one. First one is connecting to my local, network infrastructure. So if the second one is there, then I am just enabling and disabling it whenever I need internet, right? So in my case, it is disabled, but if you want to install these settings for management console, you have to have internet. You should have internet enabled. Everything there is ISO in support folder. Okay. So if in case you do not get to install or it's not installing, just go for internet connection and then run that wizard again. And if it needed some file up there, from up there, it's going to install. Otherwise, it's going to install anyway. So click finish. It is installed successfully for me, and go and check. So what I'm going to do now is trying to Citrix App Center is there. And just like in server environment, we used to see that this icon is showing in the administrative tools. So if I go to control panel here, security system, and there's the administrative tools down there. Citrix will not be found on Windows on the client side in administrative tools like in servers we found. So it will be directly here as a normal application is found in all programs. So management console, Citrix App Center. So I'm just going to close that administrative tools. Okay, it is opening that dashboard or the app center, we should say, and then it's going for the discovery, and there's XenApp there. If we have perfect connectivity, no firewalls are on, it should be working or connecting. Guys, one more thing here, everyone, do not click this. You know why? It's asking for servers, and it is meant to be run on a server environment, right? That's why it's not going to, like, if I click add local computer here, it's going to collect the client, and client are not supposed to have to be added in the server. This is asking where the XenApp is installed, the application itself is installed, and the applications are published, the proper servers. So this is just a remote client connectivity we are trying to do, right? So remove, do not click this on the client. You can only click it on the server side, right? So I'm just going to add the first server name, Citrix mem01, press OK, then add again Citrix mem02, press OK. So now these 2 servers are actual XenApp servers. Click next. I hope it discovers them without any problem. Okay, it did. because there were problems when I was trying to do a test installation, and the problems were that one of the firewall was on one of the servers, so it was not detecting that. Also, I logged in from not the domain administrator in Windows 7 or 8. I logged in accidentally by local administrator. So because I logged in locally, so it was not able to discover those. So make sure you log in from domain administrator in your Windows 8 or Windows 7, and then have firewalls checked, have ping connectivity, have NS lookup checked, and then go ahead and install that. It should have no problem, right? So if I click finish here, let's see the dashboard. It's the same message that comes there that the applications have not been published. So if I expand the form, the changes I made to the zones, yep, they are there. Changes I made to the additions I did to the administrators is there. So the whole thing is remotely available except for, okay, all the changes are there. Yeah, I did create that servers, one folder in the servers, and the other server there. So definitely everything is perfectly accessible from the Citrix admin. So when the company gives a laptop to you, you're supposed to remotely connect. Either I can remote desktop to the actual servers, or better, I could just see that right away here instead of remote desktoping there, connecting to the servers, right? So I hope it is working for you as well. So now there are those students who have still not the environment up and running. On Tuesday, we're going to be doing more stuff, and it's going to be piling up. So try to please do your labs today and tomorrow. So on Tuesday, we can have that. Okay, there's another chat message. If the system admin is connecting from home, it's not mandatory to add system admin in the admin group in AD. Connecting from home. Still, if you're connecting from home, so you will be connecting through VPN connection, and you will still need to have those credentials, right? So definitely, you in the Citrix environment, if you're not using the domain administrator, and or you don't have access to domain administrator, then your account should be added to the domain admins or administrators account, or your account should be added to the Citrix admin full admin privilege. So when you do connect from VPN to your office, if you're not added to this, you cannot be handling from your account all this, Citrix console. Okay, so yeah, so guys, try to have your lab up and ready. We will be following up with everyone. I will be following up with everyone whose lab is ready. All you need to do is send the end screenshot. The screenshot that shows that these two servers are added here, and you should be having 3 or 4 screenshots of the most crucial configuration of our lab. So I will also know that what configuration you guys think as crucial, right? So definitely you have all sent the screenshots of this where the whole dashboard is showing, and in the servers, especially 2 servers must be showing, right? So the screenshot should be showing the end of our configuration, which shows that, okay, it is properly configured, right? So if I go for delegation screenshot, I would take the screenshot of this. If I go for my views screenshot, there should be my views configured here. And search screenshot and event viewer for history. I went to the event viewers, then I actually took a screenshot of all the Citrix related sources, right? So that screenshot is required where it shows finally, yes, this is the final area of a configuration, or this explains what we're talking about. So we went to many areas of policies and balancing we're going to be visiting later, but then we went for permission here as well, zones here as well. So screenshots of the main areas only. You don't have to have a screenshot of each and every step, but the main configuration areas, right? So please send those screenshots on your, Citrix home environment. I hope you have 2 Citrix environments. And always, when you finish the lab, always take a snapshot, which is, if I right click any machine here, snapshot is here. I already took 3 snapshots, and if I go to snapshot manager, you can see that snapshot 3 I have explained that this is the snapshot where I done this, and here DC DNS Citrix domain installed, and here, so when I'm coming back, I would know that what was the configuration I'm going back to right now. So always take a snapshot, and this is snapshot. Screenshot is that you take the shot of a screen. Okay, so this is it, guys. Any questions for today's lab, today's session? Let me know because I haven't started the more complicated labs and topics because there are many students who are still trying to configure the whole lab. So please have it ready by Tuesday because we need to do the next labs together while you're doing with me. Try to have two screens if you can, and that's going to be it. So there's kids mutiny again in the making right now. They'll be attacking my. So anyway, if there are any questions, put it on chat. If you're doing the lab and you're stuck somewhere, put it on the group, Google group, the screenshot, just like before, and we will all try to help each other once you put your on the screen group. So okay, have a nice Sunday afternoon, and see you on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. For now, it's still Tuesday because, people are having problem. So, okay, if there are any questions, let me know. And thank you. Bye. And try to do these labs. Doing the labs is the most important thing. Thank you. Have a nice Sunday, everyone. Cheers. Okay.